Picking up where we left off, Xiao Yan took advantage of the 2-point plunderer's injuries and successfully defeated them to gain their scores. The battle had finally come to an end. Under Xiao Yan's relentless attacks, Yu Hui was killed while Yu Jing managed to escape. Though Xiao Yan had wanted to kill Yu Hui, the mysterious power of the competition token intervened. As soon as Yu Hui crushed the token, he was whisked away from the forest of corpses, leaving Xiao Yan frustrated. Damn it! How am I supposed to handle this? One's dead, and the other ran off. What happens to the points? Xiao Yan cursed out loud, realizing the significance of the points he had fought so hard for. He didn't care about the 9 super sects, or even the rankings of this selection tournament. What mattered most was the top 10 qualifications to enter the Xinling royal family. That was where the sacred flame could be found. Even if there was just a sliver of a chance, he couldn't afford to miss it. After all, the rarity of the sacred flame was well known across the land. If the points disappeared, Xiao Yan would be incredibly frustrated. The points? They're already with us. Yuru's lips parted slightly as she spoke, surprised. As Yu Jing was killed and Yu Hui fled, several beams of light shot toward them. Oh! Hearing this, Xiao Yan quickly pulled out his token. To his amazement, the number on it had jumped from 500 to a staggering 25,000. Even more, a prominent 10 slowly emerged on the token, indicating Xiao Yan had soared to 10th place in the selection rankings. It worked, Xiao Yan smiled. After all, this kind of high-risk, high-reward move was something only someone as daring as him would attempt. We really scored big this time. Mu Feng grinned, baring his teeth. Although Mu Feng's token points didn't match Xiao Yan's 25,000, his had still climbed to 13,000, rocketing him up to 94th place. At this point, Mu Feng was utterly impressed with Xiao Yan. If given the chance, he would definitely invite Xiao Yan to join the incense-burning pavilion. Then, heh, Mu Feng chuckled to himself. Yuru, too, glanced at her token. Her points had risen to 12,700, securing her the 99th spot in the rankings. As the fight concluded, the tokens of all the participants in the forest of corpses began displaying updated information. Xiao Yan, peak of 3-star Dou, single-handedly defeated the injured Yu Hui. He takes the 10th spot. Yuru and Mu Feng defeated the injured Yu Jing. Yuru, early 4-star Dou, ranks 99th. Mu Feng, early 4-star Dou, ranks 94th. This explosive news quickly spread throughout the forest. Haha, this Xiao Yan is quite the bold one, remarked Hu Du, watching Xiao Yan's every move through a crystal orb. To think he could reap such a reward at the peak of 3-star Dou during the selection. I've never seen anyone pull off something like this in all my years. This boy's something special, Wu Jiang added with admiration. He's the first in nearly 1,000 years to have a soul power reaching the 10th level. I'm curious to see just how far he'll go in this points-grabbing contest. True, but with just the strength of a peak 3-star Dou, he doesn't really belong in the top 10. All those ranked there are at least late-stage 4-star Dou, if not stronger. Even Mu Yingying is at the peak of 4-star Dou. Let's see how long he can hold on to his spot, Hu Du chuckled. Don't underestimate him. This kid's far more cunning than you think. Just watch, Wu Jiang replied, unwilling to debate further, knowing they could go back and forth for days if they started. Is this for real? The 10th place is only a peak 3-star Dou? Maybe there's an error with the token. That can't be. The tokens are infallible. Confused murmurs echoed through the forest of corpses. A bunch of fools. To think this Xiao Yan got the points. What a joke. Does he really think he can hold on to the 10th place with just the strength of a peak 3-star Dou? If I find him, I'll make sure he coughs up those points. Let's go. They can't have gone far. Qiu Huanyao barked angrily. His sharp eyes darted around before he set off toward a destroyed section of the forest. Heh, Xiao Yan? A peak 3-star Dou thinks he can hold the 10th spot? How laughable. A man carrying a massive axe sneered, heading in Xiao Yan's direction. It was immediately apparent to any onlooker that the man was none other than Xue Fu Xuni, ranked 11th. He wielded a massive axe, capable of unleashing incredible power, and was a late-stage 4-star Dou powerhouse. For a peak 3-star Dou to defeat a late-stage 4-star Dou like Yu Hui, this Xiao Yan must be hiding some secrets. Mu Yingying mused, biting her lip in frustration as she noticed the prominent message displaying Xiao Yan's achievement. And yet this Xiao Yan managed to get so lucky. The heavenly fire sacred tiger, now in human form, followed closely behind Mu Yingying as the two stood near the entrance to the third layer of the forest of Yin corpses. Xiao Yan, are you all right? Yu Ru and Mu Feng noticed that Xiao Yan's aura seemed a bit weakened after the battle and asked out of concern. I'm fine. Just guard me for a moment while I recover, Xiao Yan responded. Clearly, the fight against both Yu Hui and Yu Jing had taken a toll on him, but the outcome had been worth it. Yu Ru had long since reached the early stage of 4-star Dou, progressing much faster than Xiao Yan. But then again, Yu Ru was a legacy inheritor, so her rapid advancement was no surprise. Fighting against late-stage 4-star Dou experts is still too strenuous, Xiao Yan murmured to himself. The only reason he had been able to defeat Yu Hui and Yu Jing was that he caught them off guard, and they were already injured. If they had been in peak condition, even facing one of them would have been a challenge, let alone both. Hee, Xiao Yan, since Long Yi has decided to pledge allegiance as your ruler spirit, it's only fair that he demonstrate some sincerity. The voice of the Golden Dragon King echoed in Xiao Yan's mind. Huh. Xiao Yan's eyes lit up with excitement. While he didn't know the exact nature of the flame on Long Yi's body, based on his understanding of fire's power, the flame could definitely rank among the top 10 on the heavenly flame ranking of the Dou Qi continent. If he could fuse with Long Yi's flame, breaking through to 4-star Dou would come naturally for him. Ever since Long Yi became his ruler spirit, Xiao Yan had entertained the idea of acquiring the flame. However, given that Long Yi had a connection to his master, the Golden Dragon King, Xiao Yan had hesitated to act. But now that his master had given his approval, everything seemed much simpler. Xiao Yan glanced at Yu Ru and Mu Feng, who were guarding him. Grinning, he pulled out the ancient ruler of heavenly flames, admiring the beautiful dragon patterns engraved on its surface. Inside the ruler, the spirit of Long Yi, coiled in the form of a dragon, sensed Xiao Yan's intentions, and a wave of unease washed over him. What are you doing, Xiao Yan? Long Yi roared in anger. In his mind, the Golden Dragon King was like a deity, so it never crossed his mind that this was all part of the Golden Dragon King's plan. He simply thought Xiao Yan was suddenly targeting him, perhaps having discovered, Long Yi, the flames on your body are no ordinary fire. Now that you've become my ruler spirit, it's only right that you show some sincerity. After all, you know some of my secrets, including my connection to the Golden Dragon King. Xiao Yan spoke with a slight smile, clearly determined to claim Long Yi's flame. Damn it! How could you possibly know? Long Yi growled, realizing Xiao Yan had figured out the value of his flames. He looked at Xiao Yan, whose body was now enveloped in fire, slowly recovering his Dou Qi. Long Yi fell silent, deep in thought. He had his own calculations and had been hiding some things from Xiao Yan since their encounter in the secret realm. Long Yi's words were not false. Indeed, 3 powerful experts had trapped him in the secret realm under the pretense of helping him avoid the heavenly tribulation. They had destroyed Long Yi's dragon body, leaving him in a purely spiritual form, imprisoned in that mysterious space for millennia. Despite being a formidable dragon, Long Yi had managed to survive by defeating them within the realm, living on for thousands of years. The sword those 3 human experts wielded was also extraordinary, though it had suffered some damage, reducing its power. Moreover, Xiao Yan wasn't used to swords. The ancient ruler of heavenly flames suited him far better, so he kept the ruler instead. However, there was one thing Long Yi had never mentioned to Xiao Yan. The reason those 3 Dou Xian-level human experts had targeted him was because of the flame power within his body. Long Yi was a fire dragon, one of the dragon clan's fiercest lovers of fire. The flame he possessed was exceedingly powerful, and his bloodline was exceptionally pure. Over time, his bloodline had mutated, causing the flame in his body to undergo a transformation as well. After this mutation, Long Yi's flame had become incomparably powerful. While it wasn't as strong as a sacred flame, it had qualities remarkably similar to the unique fire that Xiao Yan controlled. The flame that resided within Long Yi was called Blazing Blood Flame, a fire born from the fusion of his innate dragon fire and his mutated bloodline. It was a unique flame that, once ignited, could instantly set an enemy's blood ablaze, leading to a deadly strike. This ability to burn an opponent's blood was only effective against those weaker than Long Yi, but even against those of equal strength, it provided a formidable suppression. What made it truly exceptional, however, was its ability to counter the bloodline powers of others. This flame made Long Yi one of the most powerful ruler spirits, an invaluable asset, especially against magical beasts or clans with highly pure bloodlines. It was no wonder Long Yi had become a target. Long Yi had withheld this information from Xiao Yan for a reason. Despite being bound as the ruler spirit of the ancient ruler of heavenly flames, he knew that, as long as Xiao Yan allowed it, he could eventually regain his freedom and exist in a purely spiritual form. In his short time with Xiao Yan, Long Yi had observed that the young man possessed no less than 22 different types of flames, some of which even posed a threat to him. This left Long Yi deeply puzzled. Even one type of flame was naturally volatile, yet Xiao Yan had control over 22. How did he manage to coexist with such a chaotic variety of flames within him? This mystery had troubled Long Yi for some time, but what truly terrified him was the realization that Xiao Yan's flames seemed to be slowly devouring his own. Startled, Long Yi had retreated into the ancient ruler, growing increasingly fearful that Xiao Yan would eventually consume his flame entirely. If that happened, Long Yi knew that, in his current spiritual form, he would be close to perishing. That was why he had kept quiet, but somehow Xiao Yan had still uncovered the truth. "Xiao Yan, don't push your luck," Long Yi roared angrily. It was clear that Xiao Yan intended to force him into a corner. The fiery red flames on Long Yi's body began to stir, ready to strike Xiao Yan if necessary, even if that meant going against the will of the revered Golden Dragon King. "Calm down," Xiao Yan said with a smirk. "My master, the Golden Dragon King, has already told me about your peculiar situation. But if you help me, I'll personally offer you a tribulation-averting pill in the future." Xiao Yan's voice carried a commanding tone. A tribulation-averting pill. Long Yi was stunned. He had long heard of this famous pill, which had a 50% chance of allowing someone to avoid a heavenly tribulation. A miraculous creation indeed. In the seven realms, except for beings from the ghost realm who couldn't cultivate human forms, all others aspired to take on human form. After all, humans were considered the pinnacle of creation, unmatched by any other creature. Take the heavenly fire sacred tiger for instance. Though it could temporarily assume a human form, its power and lifespan were insufficient for it to fully transform and cultivate as a human, making the transformation short-lived. Long Yi, on the other hand, had managed to escape his first tribulation by defeating 3 human Dou experts and hiding in the secret realm. Yet, although he existed in a spiritual state now, his second tribulation was approaching in less than 50 years. When that time came, the heavenly tribulation was the most fearsome force in existence, and even Long Yi feared it greatly. "Can you really do it?" Long Yi asked. "I've already mastered Emperor Grade Tier 2 pills with ease, and Emperor Grade Tier 3 is within my grasp," Xiao Yan replied confidently. The tribulation-averting pill, however, is a Tier 4 immortal grade pill, far surpassing Emperor Grade Tier 3. But before your next tribulation, I'll make sure you have one. "I swear it on my soul," Xiao Yan added, sealing his promise. Long Yi pondered. Even though he was bound as the ruler spirit, he knew that if he really wanted to escape, Xiao Yan, at the peak of 3-star Dou, wouldn't be able to stop him. However, remembering that even the Golden Dragon King had chosen to support Xiao Yan, Long Yi shook his head and dismissed the thought. Besides, with only 40-some years left until his next tribulation, Long Yi knew that despite Xiao Yan's current status as an Emperor Grade Tier 2 alchemist, being chosen by the son of the dragon god himself meant Xiao Yan's future was certain to be remarkable. "Hee, I'll take that gamble," Long Yi declared, his fiery red flames coalescing in his dragon's maw. A blazing sphere of fire slowly transferred from the ancient ruler of heavenly flames to Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan controlled this pure essence of fire and murmured to himself, "So this is the source of the blazing blood flame? Indeed, Its power is exceptional. Now, it's time to break through to Four-Star Dou. With that, Xiao Yan closed his eyes and swallowed the essence of the blazing blood flame. The flame mantra within his body began to operate, and Xiao Yan's aura surged rapidly. This aura? Goodness, he's breaking through to Four-Star Dou. Mu Feng exclaimed, immediately recognizing what was happening. Be careful. Don't let anyone disturb Xiao Yan, Yu Ru warned, her sharp eyes scanning the surroundings vigilantly. Suddenly, a loud voice echoed through the area. Xiao Yan, hand over the points you took from Yu Hui and Yu Jing, and leave the forest of corpses. Do that, and I'll spare your life. Yu Ru and Mu Feng turned to see a figure approaching. A man wielding a massive axe on his back. This is going to be troublesome, Yu Ru muttered softly, glancing back at Xiao Yan, who was still seated behind her, his aura slowly gathering. She clenched her fists, summoning her Dou Qi. Heh, so you're the 99th ranked Yu Ru and the 94th ranked Mu Feng? Xuni sneered as he looked at them. Both of you are early-stage Four-Star Dou. If you know what's good for you, step aside. I'm not interested in your points. His voice dripped with disdain. Stop right there. Yu Ru bit her lip, determined not to drag Xiao Yan down, even if fighting a late-stage Four-Star Dou like Xuni would be difficult. Mu Feng stepped forward as well. He couldn't let Yu Ru face Xuni alone. It was time for him to show his mettle. Kids, with just the strength of 2 early-stage Four-Star Dou, you're no match for me. Xuni laughed as he saw their determination, knowing that if he wanted to get to Xiao Yan, he'd have to go through them. In an instant, Xuni disappeared from where he stood. The next moment, he reappeared right in front of Yu Ru and Mu Feng, launching punches at both of them with incredible speed and power. The force and speed of a late-stage Four-Star Dou were overwhelming, far beyond what Yu Ru and Mu Feng could handle. Boom, boom. The sound of fists colliding with their bodies echoed, and both Yu Ru and Mu Feng were forced to retreat several steps before they could steady themselves. Damn it. Xuni, ranked 11th, really does live up to his reputation? Mu Feng muttered, wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth. Mu Feng, if you can't hold him off, you should leave. There's no need for you to get hurt for us, Yu Ru said with a faint smile, though her eyes were filled with determination. Don't even say that. I've already decided to stand by Xiao Yan and you too, Mu Feng interrupted before Yu Ru could finish. He drew a wooden sword from his storage ring and charged toward Xuni, who was steadily approaching Xiao Yan. A peak 3-star Dou dares to aim for 10th place? How laughable. Xuni, still sneering, moved closer to Xiao Yan. He noticed that Xiao Yan was sitting on the ground, seemingly in the middle of healing himself. He's trying to break through to Four-Star Dou? Xuni's eyes widened slightly as he realized what was happening. An ant will always be an ant. Even if you reach Four-Star Dou, it won't change the fact that you'll die today. Some things are best left untouched unless you have the strength to back it up, Xuni said coldly, drawing the massive red axe from his back and swinging it viciously toward Xiao Yan. Despite his arrogance, Xuni remained cautious around Xiao Yan. He wouldn't hesitate to use his signature axe for this attack, a rare acknowledgement of Xiao Yan's potential. The red axe streaked through the air, unleashing a powerful beam of bloodlust-filled energy that seemed ready to annihilate Xiao Yan entirely. Crackle! Just as Xuni's axe was about to strike, Mu Feng's attack arrived. Moving swiftly, Mu Feng infused his wooden sword with a mysterious power, meeting Xuni's axe beam head-on. Boom! 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 A violent explosion of energy erupted, successfully blocking Xuni's strike. You damned brat, this has nothing to do with you. Xuni growled in frustration, his anger rising as his attack was thwarted. Though furious, Xuni wasn't foolish. He had ranked 11th in the competition for a reason. He was meticulous in his approach. Even though he hadn't used his full strength in that attack, any mid-stage Four-Star Dou would have struggled to withstand it. Yet, Mu Feng had done so with ease, forcing Xuni to take them more seriously. We're a team. If you want to get to him, you'll have to go through me first, Mu Feng said calmly, standing his ground. Mu Feng understood that with his early-stage Four-Star Dou strength, reaching the top 100 in this points-grabbing contest was a near-impossible task. But sticking with Xiao Yan made success seem more achievable. After all, he had already benefited from being part of Xiao Yan's group. Although he and Ru had split the points from Jing, they had hardly contributed to the fight. Xiao Yan had done most of the work, and Mu Feng was growing more confident in their trio. Foolish boy. Then I'll start with you. Xuni gritted his teeth and gripped his massive axe tightly, swinging it toward Mu Feng. He needed to finish this quickly. If Xiao Yan broke through to Four-Star Dou, it would complicate things. Xuni wasn't afraid of 3 Four-Star Dou, but he didn't want to risk someone else swooping in to take advantage of the situation. With that thought in mind, Xuni's body surged with red Dou Qi, fully unleashing his late-stage Four-Star Dou strength. He's aiming for a quick victory, Mu Feng muttered under his breath. Boy, this next strike could kill you. Xuni laughed menacingly. His massive axe weighed 1,000 jin, and with his fire attribute Dou Qi fueling it, the destructive power was multiplied several times over. Blood axe force. Xuni roared as his colossal axe split into 2 identical axes, each radiating with terrifying power. With a massive axe in each hand, Xuni crossed them and swung viciously toward Mu Feng. 2 terrifying axe beams formed a deadly cross, hurtling toward him with unstoppable force. Late-stage Four-Star Dou, truly formidable. Mu Feng murmured, watching the terrifying cross-shaped energy attack, his body tensing in preparation. Enyang 8 trigrams, heed my command. Slash and destroy. Slash. Mu Feng's voice was low, and though Xuni didn't understand what he was doing, he remained confident that his attack would seriously injure this young man. Just as Mu Feng finished speaking, his wooden sword began to emit a dazzling light. With his command, the sword soared into the air and collided with Xuni's dual axe beams. Kid, there's still time to surrender. Xuni's voice rang out, dripping with a smug threat. Otherwise, that won't be necessary, Mu Feng replied with a strange smile. In midair, the wooden sword, glowing with intense light, pierced through Xuni's cross-shaped axe beams and shot toward Xuni himself. What? It's a piercing force. Xuni's eyes widened in shock. As the glowing wooden sword closed in on him, Xuni channeled his red Dou Qi to its peak and quickly swung his axes, deflecting the wooden sword with a powerful blow. At the same time, Mu Feng coughed up blood and stumbled backward. Damn it, just a little more, Mu Feng muttered weakly. It was clear that the mysterious technique he had used had taken a heavy toll on his body. I didn't expect such a strange power from you. If we were at the same level, I'd be no match for you. But sadly, you won't get that chance, Xuni declared, his voice cold and filled with murderous intent. Die with your regrets. With those words, Xuni's Dou Qi surged to its maximum as he prepared to finish off the injured Mu Feng. His massive axes gleamed with destructive power, ready to deliver the final blow. Damn it! Ru raised her hand, her fingers brushing against her forehead. She knew that in this moment of desperation, she had no choice but to break the seal. Leave it to me, a gentle voice whispered in Yuru's ear, and a familiar hand softly stopped her just as she was about to activate her seal. Xuni's powerful strike was just inches away from Mu Feng. With his strength, Xuni was confident he could severely injure the man before him. After all, his giant axe, the mountain-splitting axe, was known for its sheer power and long history. It was said that when wielded with full force, the mountain-splitting axe had the power to cleave entire mountains. Such a feat was difficult even for a peak Four-Star Dou. However, just before Xuni's axe could connect, a massive force intercepted the strike. Damn it! Mu Feng cursed, knowing that Xuni's attack carried a deadly intent. But with no time to escape, he could only brace himself for the worst. Boom, boom, boom. Xuni's twin axes slammed down with devastating power, but the expected carnage never came. Instead, Xuni's axes were stopped by something hard. Before Mu Feng stood Xiao Yan, his ancient ruler of heavenly flames blocking Xuni's deadly attack. Were you looking for me? Xiao Yan smiled up at Xuni, a calm confidence radiating from him. You're just a boy hiding behind women. Do you really think breaking through to the early stage of Four-Star Dou will change anything? Xuni scoffed, his pride evident. He didn't believe that Xiao Yan or his companions could pose any real threat, especially now that two of them had lost their ability to fight. "You talk too much," Xiao Yan said. With a flick of his left hand, his ruler surged with power, forcing Xuni's axes to recoil. "Are you all right?" Xiao Yan extended his right hand to Mu Feng, having heard everything Mu Feng had said earlier. Mu Feng grinned, wiping the blood from his mouth. "Heh, no worries. You were a bit late, but I'm fine now. Did you break through?" Mu Feng asked. "Yeah. Be careful. Xuni is strong. Late-stage 4-Star Dou and ranked right behind you at 11th, Mu Feng warned as they spoke in hushed tones. "Don't worry, I can handle him." Xiao Yan smiled and handed a small, intricately crafted bottle to Mu Feng, who didn't hesitate to accept it. Moving aside, Mu Feng opened the bottle and inhaled the scent of an extremely fragrant pill. Without hesitation, he swallowed it, knowing how valuable it was. "Enough talking, time to die." Xuni roared as he noticed the high-grade pill in Mu Feng's hand. Suspicion crept into his mind. This Xiao Yan wasn't just anyone. If he wasn't from a prominent family, he was at least a powerful alchemist. Xuni didn't want to waste any more time, fearing the longer he waited, the more danger he would face. Xuni's red Dou Qi surged around him as his twin axes radiated destructive energy. He had to finish this quickly. Attack fast, strike unexpectedly. That was his plan. Swift, brutal, and precise. His speed had to be fast enough to confuse his opponent between the real body and afterimages. His strikes had to be powerful enough to leave the enemy defenseless. With both axes raised, Xuni charged at Xiao Yan, his fiery Dou Qi transforming into a deadly force of annihilation. Accuracy is key. Xuni targeted Xiao Yan's vital points, aiming for a deadly blow. He moved with precision, pulling his left hand back slightly while spinning in place. Using the inertia of his spin, he hurled the massive axe in his right hand fiercely toward Xiao Yan. The momentum added to the weight of the axe, which already weighed thousands of jin, bringing its force up to a terrifying 6,000 jin. A direct hit from such a blow could flay someone alive, if not outright kill them. "Humph!" Xiao Yan snorted coldly. In an instant, a terrifying aura of flames enveloped his body. His hands gripped the ancient ruler of heavenly flames tightly. On the surface of the ruler, 23 different colors swirled and flowed. Yes, 23. With the 22 unique types of heavenly flames he had gathered from the Dou Qi continent, combined with the addition of Long Yi's essence flame, Xiao Yan now controlled 23 distinct flames. Absorbing Long Yi's essence flame had not only enhanced Xiao Yan's strength, but had also caused a sudden breakthrough in his flame mantra, elevating it instantly to the immortal grade low level. Though it was only the lowest level of the immortal grade, it was still vastly superior to the highest level of the heaven grade. If the heaven grade flame mantra was like an ocean, then the immortal grade flame mantra was like several oceans converging into one. Without using any special techniques, Xiao Yan merely gripped the ancient ruler of heavenly flames and charged forward to meet Xuni's attack head-on. Clang! The giant axe clashed fiercely with the ancient ruler, creating a powerful impact. Two completely different forms of Dou Qi collided, and a violent energy storm erupted from the point of contact, sweeping outward from beneath their feet. The space around them seemed to freeze momentarily as their weapons locked together, their expressions void of emotion. But in the next instant, the 23 colored flames on Xiao Yan's ruler burst forth, surging along Xuni's axe and straight toward him. Damn it! Xuni's face twisted in shock. He had anticipated that Xiao Yan wouldn't be an easy opponent and had taken precautions, but he hadn't expected Xiao Yan's flames to find an opening so quickly. Xuni, being a fire-type Dou himself, had never feared other fire users. He hadn't paid much attention to Xiao Yan's flames, thinking they wouldn't be much of a threat. But now, he realized how horribly wrong he had been. Xiao Yan's flames were unlike anything Xuni had ever encountered. They were terrifying beyond belief. As soon as the 23 flames flowed through the axe and entered his body, Xuni sensed that something was wrong. When he tried to expel the flames, he found that they were already entrenched, and it was far too late to stop them. Each of the 23 flames began unleashing its unique properties within Xuni's body. The void-devouring flame started consuming Xuni's Dou Qi. Even with the strength of a late-stage Four-Star Dou, he couldn't withstand this draining force for long. The purifying Lotus Demon Flame ignited within his heart, burning not just his physical body but also his soul, forcing Xuni to divide his attention defensively. The blazing blood flame began roasting his blood, threatening to ignite it entirely. The 23 different flames wreaked havoc inside Xuni, jumping from one organ to the next. His once arrogant demeanor quickly crumbled as beads of sweat formed on his forehead. He had no doubt that if he allowed these flames to continue rampaging inside him, his internal organs would be reduced to ashes within minutes. As Xuni scrambled to deal with the chaos inside his body, Xiao Yan made his move. In the blink of an eye, a fearsome attack, brimming with terrifying energy, materialized right in front of Xuni.